Vocational opportunities for people with disabilities. Helena Industries.
Welcome to another Helena Industries report. My name is Katie Gallagher and I'm the Director of Marketing at Helena Industries.
My name is Carrie Jones. I'm also a employee at Helena Industries.
1 out of 5 Americans report that they have some sort of disability. On the Helena Industries report, we're committed to bringing on organizations and people in our community committed to providing opportunities for people with disabilities in our community.
Families, friends, coworkers, you, me.
And so today we have a guest, Ona Leopard. Is that how you say your last name?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And I should know that. I've worked with you for a while. So Ona works at Helena Industries, and your official job title is Director of Community Programs?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, well, welcome. Thank you for joining us, Ona.
Thank you.
What is the program and what does it provide?
So my department is the placement program. And what we do is help people with disabilities find jobs in the community. When a client comes into us for the first time, we do an intake meeting and we help that person with a resume. We help them fill out job applications. We help them look for work. We help them get ready for interviews, and sometimes we even go with them to an interview. And then once they get a job, we help them keep that job.
And about how many folks do you work with in the community placement program?
Right now we have on our caseload about 110 people that are in the community working. Some of those people have permanent job coaches, and some of those people, they started with a job coach, but then once they figured things out, they just took off on their own.
How many job coaches do you have on your staff?
Right now, I work with 5 amazing women. They're mostly all full-time. We just are hiring a young man to work part-time as well. So we stay busy.
So how many jobs have you provided?
That's a great question, and I don't know. I've been doing this job as the Director of Community Development for about 6 years. I've been with Helena Industries for about 12 years. So that would be a great project someday to sit down and count up all the people that we've helped. But I don't know that answer.
So how long has this program been going? I know you had just mentioned you haven't been around that long, but...
Correct. Well, Helena Industries began in 1970, and at the beginning, there may have just been jobs on the vocational campus. As far as the community part of that, I don't know. The lady that I took over my job from had been there for about 20 years.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Wow.
And 12 years is not a short period of time. I have not done anything in my life for 12 years. So when you say job coaches and you talk about your team, what exactly does that entail on a day-to-day basis?
So the job coaches go, they do a variety of things. They will go to a place of business here in town and try to get employers to allow us to bring people to their sites, either for a job shadow, just to come and show somebody, here's what a job stocking shelves at a grocery store looks like, or here's what a job grooming dogs looks like. Or to do work experiences, which are short-term kind of practice jobs, or to hire somebody. The job coach can go with the person on the very first day to help them get started. Sometimes the job coach checks in with their person on their caseload once a week. It kind of all depends on the person. we have to be kind of mini experts at many different things. We could be, when we get dressed in the morning, it's like we might be mopping floors, or then we might be on TV. So you just never know what's going to happen in any given day.
So can they have one-on-one clients or?
Yes, that's a great question. We have some clients, and that's becoming more and more common, is to have a client that needs one-on-one job coaching. So every time that person goes to work, the job coach goes to work as well and stays with that client the entire time.
And to back up maybe to what we should have talked about at the very beginning, can we talk a little bit about the barriers to employment? So why somebody might need a job coach?
You bet. Some of the typical barriers that disabled people have when it comes to getting employment are really simple things, or can be. It could be transportation, it could be speech and language communication, and
Yeah.
stumbled. Are we? Can
No.
we stop this? No. Oh no. So okay. So barriers. So transportation, communication. Sometimes people can have a mental illness, and that can make it challenging for them to be successful out in the community. If you look like you don't have a disability, but you do, it can be really hard for people to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people are interested in getting involved, how can they help with this program?
Okay, that's a good question too. So one of the best things that you could do would be to call me or email me and say, hey, our job site would be interested in having somebody come out and do a job shadow or do a work experience, or we might be interested in talking to you about job carving. That's a big part of what the job coaches do. They go to a site and meet an employer and can take a part of a job that somebody could do. For example, if you had somebody who was autistic, they're not going to be able to do the whole job, but they could do a piece of it. And we call that job carving. And so if you are a business owner and you have something in your business that takes time away from your employees doing other things, maybe somebody on my caseload could do that job.
So how many businesses approximately do you partner with?
That's another great question. We have probably a good, solid, ongoing relationships with probably 50 to 60 businesses here in town. Right now I have one or two job coaches that are really excellent about going out and making cold calls and always constantly adding to that pile of business owners. So we're very fortunate, and that's one of the great things about Helena Industries. It's been around so long that people are familiar with it, and once we establish a good working relationship, we're just able to maintain it for the most part.
Can you talk a little bit about the nature of the businesses? Because I know the different types of disabilities that people have that you work with, but what's the diversity of businesses that you work with?
It's pretty amazing. We have people who work at McDonald's and Hardee's and various thrift stores here in town, so what you'd call an entry-level job. And then we have people who are at the high end of things that work for the state of Montana. I have had people on our caseload that have graduated from college, that maybe have a business degree or are in IT. Have a person right now who's interested in video and editing, all different kinds of things. And that's what makes it so unique, is we get the opportunity to learn about a lot of different jobs. So it's always interesting for me when I meet people to find out, what do you do for a living? Where do you do that at? And what's that look like? So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of support from the business community in Helena.
Because you never know what businesses are willing to hire people like us. Because a lot of businesses turn people away.
that's one of the great things, excuse me for interrupting, that's one of the great things about having Helena Industries help people look for work, is we are an advocate for people with disabilities.
Because I know that I've gone out on my own trying to fill out applications, and I've had people turn me away just because I tried being honest and put on my application. You know, I'm in a wheelchair And because I've had one place, I put on my application, I'm in a wheelchair. They're like, okay, well, we don't want to see you because of the fact that I was in a wheelchair.
That's too bad when that happens, but it does happen.
We were all set for the interview, and just because of that comment, they didn't want to do the interview.
When that happens, and it does, we usually just walk away from the employer and don't do business with them. That's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Do you think that the program, like you say, it's advocates for people with disabilities in the workplace, and so do you think the needle is moving on employers not doing what Carrie has described, or do you think we have a long way to go?
Here in Helena, I think it's really pretty good. There's the occasional employer that doesn't want to play with us, but for the most part, we have great support. And one of the nice things about Helena is if I have an employer who is very supportive, but I need a job situation that's completely different from what that employer does, that employer can call the second employer and say, hey, you need to sit down and at least think about this, or we've had success with Helena Industries and so forth. So we do get a lot of support. I can call people at any given point and say, what do you think about this? And they respond very, very well.
Great. Do you have anything you want to add? Any additional questions, Carrie?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Can you recap how to get a hold of you if you're an employer? Maybe if there's somebody in your life who has a disability that needs help with employment. I know that there's other avenues that they need to go to first before they contact us. So can you just recap that before we finish?
You bet. In order to get our help at Helena Industries for employment, people need to go through vocational rehabilitation services, and they have an orientation every Thursday morning. Just give them a call and go down to their orientation. Once you are an active client with them, then you get referred. Okay, so it's a pretty simple process.
Sounds good. And your phone number and your email?
The phone number is 442-8632, and the email is oleopard@helenaindustries.org.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Ona.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.